You ready?
I'm ready.
Your spiritual podcast station, bringing you the uncut, unblocked, and unscripted. This is the only place in the podcast universe giving you a balanced approach and a look at the other side. Everything from A to Z. We are live right now in the 1831 studio. My name is Natia Moore.
And I'm Anthony Fliggins.
And this is Pastor Anthony Said. Make sure you all like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel right now and subscribe if you're not already subscribed for all our brand new episodes. How you doing?
I can't complain. What about yourself?
I'm doing all right. Can't complain either. Let me see here. Let me go ahead and share myself. If you're watching us on Facebook, make sure you share the broadcast. Let somebody know Pastor Anthony Said is live. Let's see. I'm sharing it on my page as we speak. So you had a good day?
I had a productive day. No complaints here. The weather is good. And
oh, my goodness.
everything is well, and we making it happen.
Yes. The weather is amazing. Yesterday and today.
Yeah.
I guess we officially, well, it's been spring, right? But
it's been spring, but yeah.
But like, I guess we're really feeling it. Actually, it was like summerish today.
Yeah, they said it's going to be like that. They're supposed to. We're in Baltimore City.
Baltimore.
And the
Baltimore.
Mid-Atlantic region.
Yes.
Unpredictable.
Very. You never know what you're going to get.
Mm-mm.
Like a box of chocolates.
Let
me make sure we can hear. If you're watching this, let us know if you can hear everything. Yeah, there we are. Sounding pretty good. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get. We never know what we're going to get, ever. All year round.
All year round.
All year round. It was like that in the wintertime, too.
Yeah. I'm having some warm days in the winter.
Right.
Yeah. I remember that. And then if y'all hear me chewing, I'm eating a piece of candy.
He's definitely chewing. It's like you're going to hear it. And it's fine.
Yeah, so I'm taking my time.
You know, do your thing.
And but in the winter, we had some warm days, and then it took I think when the spring came in, I thought we was going to jump into a fast early spring. I think they said the little thing showed saw a shadow.
Yeah, I think
the
so.
little thing, yeah. So
what
it's supposed
is that,
to be
a groundhog.
Yeah, groundhog. So
okay.
yeah, no, they said it's 6 weeks of you know what I'm saying. Yeah, but yeah, but the only thing about the 6 weeks thing is 6 weeks of they said 6 weeks spring or 6 weeks maybe got more winter or whatever like that. I don't think they do tell you, but February, I guess whenever that day is, I think the 2nd, you know what I'm saying, till about March the 21st, right there, that's right around 6 weeks anyway.
Yeah,
so no matter how you do it, it's still
coming.
It's
it's
still 6
weeks.
Like
right in that.
Yeah. So when they say 6 more weeks of, it's just 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's where we are.
And interesting.
Yeah. How they do all that stuff.
Yeah. Because we've had some Aprils where I remember it snowed, right?
Now, I can't. I want to say
I remember an Easter in April, like maybe like 4 or 5 years. No, it was longer than that. It was longer than that because actually I think I was still at Empowerment Temple.
Okay.
So it was like a long time ago.
In April it snowed.
It was
on
April,
on the Easter.
On the Easter. Because I remember people had open toe shoes. Like it was like it was very unexpected.
Yeah.
I remember people were like dressed in spring wear because that's what's out.
Right.
Open toe shoes and it was snowing. I got pictures. I got proof.
Yeah, I believe you.
I got receipts.
I believe you. It's very unpredictable. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for grace, for mercy, and for strength in your unmerited favor. We thank you for looking beyond our fault and meeting us at our need. We thank you for allowing us to be here. We thank you for allowing us to be alive and well. Give us understanding thoughts. Give us help us to have a meeting of the minds. Give us strategies and insight and good eyesight, by the way. Yes, all those things. And we thank you for this in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Good. So everything is well.
Everything is well.
Yeah.
We've been gone for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, 1 week, right?
Was it 1 week or 2?
I think it's one. It could have been 2 weeks. It might have been 1 week. I don't know how long it's been. I don't know.
It's definitely been 1 week. I do know it's at least been 1 week for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see here. It's been a little minute, but we're back.
We back in action. So what's new for you?
Just resting. Today was a restful day.
Okay.
For me, just recovering. Had a few little testings and things that I had to get done last week.
Right.
So I'm just recovering from
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Good,
So
good.
this is my recovery season. I heard the Lord say this is my recovery
Right.
season. So I'm recovering.
Good.
So yeah.
Good. So my birthday was last week.
Yes,
And
happy
so,
birthday.
Thank you.
Put
So
it
my
in the
birthday
comments if y'all did not already say happy birthday to
So my
Pastor
birthday
Anthony.
was last week. I'm 45, and it's been it's a blessing. I've had a beautiful week. Everything went well. You know, I don't put a lot into my birthday. I don't personally put a lot into my birthday, and
Ever? Is that
yeah,
like
I was just never that kid.
Right.
You know, I'm a man now, but I was just never that kid that was really big on birthdays. You know, it's
Yeah.
another day. You know, you celebrate it here and there, but it just wasn't a big thing.
right?
And so we didn't make it a big thing. But you know, happy birthday, and
Happy
you know,
birthday,
hit a little
yeah.
card, and you know,
Get on your
smile
way.
and go on, man. That's right. You know, and then I knew my birthday was over when my birthday was Wednesday. I knew my birthday was over when people started calling again, because Wednesday and Thursday I didn't get many phone calls about
Okay.
help, anything else like that. But Friday,
It's over.
Friday, oh my God, man, people calling me. Hey, I know it was your birthday, but I need.
Wow.
Yeah, I know it was his birthday, but I know it was your birthday. I said, okay, we back. Life is we back. And
We
so
back.
that was but I'm grateful. I'm having fun and I'm enjoying life and moving forward. Yeah.
So
yeah,
you
no
don't you don't do the whole month thing like, hey.
Oh
it's
no,
my
my
and
season.
all
I don't do
that
that stuff.
You don't do all
Nah, I
that.
don't do that stuff.
Okay.
Nah.
Yeah. My family was really big on birthdays.
Okay.
Like my mother, for example, like for all of the birthdays, and my grandmother used to do the same thing. They would decorate their dining room table.
Okay.
So like when you come into the house, it's like a festive, like balloons, and
On that day?
they do it on that day, but it stays up the whole month.
Really?
Yes.
Mm.
It's like the big it's like the big decorative bags and balloons and
Right.
cards opened up. Like
Right.
they really, go all
Okay,
out.
Okay.
They go all out. They're really into the presentation of it. They're
Mm-hmm.
really into the presentation of it and, celebrating that person on that day.
Yeah.
So for
yeah.
everybody,
For everybody.
birthday in that house,
Wow.
get the table. Get the
Okay,
table set
okay,
the table set
okay,
up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just had to kind of try to get my mother out of it just a little bit.
What do
She
you mean
was
get her
still-
out of it?
Because she would set it up for me. I don't live there.
Okay. So you can go by there and pick up your stuff, right, and keep it going. No, but no.
Yeah, like I didn't want to take that away from her. I'm okay with whatever she wants to do, but it's costly. Like she literally gets the whole tablecloth. She gets the
Oh.
decorative bags, the balloons.
Y'all
she
take
gets
pictures of that stuff?
flowers. Yes, she takes
take pictures?
She does
You need to
pictures.
post. Y'all need to post pictures of that. That's interesting.
Yeah, so other people don't do that. I guess
Yeah,
like that.
No, the dining room table. I need to take pictures of that.
As soon as you walk in the door, bam, it's like right there. And so it's just kind of weird for me because I don't live there. So I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, thanks. But me and my grandfather share a day apart birthday. So she
Really?
does like half. Yep, he's June the 10th and I'm June the 11th.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So she do half and half of the table.
Got it.
Everybody gets a table.
Got it. Okay.
So they're really into birthdays.
They really into birthdays like that. Got it.
I think a lot of
Are you
people
into it?
Not as much as I used to be.
Okay.
I'm appreciative of course, like honoring the time, but
Mhm.
I'm not really. I'm into it, but I find myself not as celebratory anymore as far as like going out and doing certain things like
Any
that.
reason why?
I know like the last 3 birthdays I've just been busy throughout the season, so it just didn't really make time, and I kind of just didn't want to do dinner. I didn't want to do those kind of things. So I just kind of, I guess, got bored with it.
Really?
Kind of was looking for maybe, honestly, at one point I was like, is anybody going to throw me a surprise party or something? Like ever?
Oh, you were looking for it.
Yeah, I wanted a surprise party.
You want a surprise. You never had a surprise party.
I've never had a surprise
Okay,
party.
yeah, please don't surprise me.
Nope. You don't want to be surprised? I always
hate
wanted a surprise party, but
I hate
I ain't going to get it. I can tell.
I hate surprise parties.
You do?
Man. Yes, do not.
Always wanted a surprise
Do not.
party.
He's a jolly good fellow. Me. do not.
Always
do not.
wanted just one surprise
Do
party
not.
since
He's
I
a
was
jolly-
little. Like maybe
Nah,
somebody
no
will
surprise.
me. Like no,
Oh my
it never happened.
God.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when you get surprised, oh, I know you're gonna do it. You know. Yeah, you've been talking about it all year. So you
Now you gotta
gotta
keep it on
act
the low.
surprised. You gotta act
You
surprised.
have to, yeah. I don't know. I think it's just the act of someone doing something nice for you.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Just because, especially, I guess it's like a giver or whatever. Not saying you're expecting anything big, but it's just nice. I mean, like, hey, thank you.
Okay,
Somebody thought about me. Wow. Thanks. Appreciate it. It's cool.
You know what I like? I appreciate thoughtful gifts, not big, not
Yeah.
small, but thoughtful.
Yes.
I really appreciate thoughtful gifts.
Yes.
And I appreciate people that really puts, okay, what type of person is he or is she?
Yes.
You know, and then they tailor the gift to the type of person you are, opposed to getting something they think that, you know, you
Yes.
would like because they would like you to like it.
Yes.
And so I am I'm a little leery when it comes down to that. So
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, get thoughtful gifts.
Yeah, thoughtful gifts.
Get
I like
thoughtful
gifts that I guess it would be considered a thoughtful gift, like one that something that you've heard me mention in the past.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And you forget about it.
Mhm.
Like, wow, I love that scarf. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Something like
okay,
that.
okay.
And you said it like in January.
Okay.
And then on your birthday, like somebody be like, well, here you go. Like, I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that.
you like that stuff.
Like you was really, you remembered.
You thought about me.
I think that's thoughtful.
Okay.
I think that's thoughtful to
Okay.
me. Yeah,
Okay.
so I like those kind of gifts.
Nice.
I don't. What do you think about gift cards and things like that?
I love gift cards.
Okay.
Now I love gift cards because it gives me the freedom to get what I want to
Get
get.
what you want, especially
Yes,
for people
and-
who don't know what you really want.
Yep. That I love gift cards. So yes.
To the right place. To the right place.
Okay, let me hear it.
Like, if I get you a gift card for like Pro Bass, what's that fishing store?
Oh yeah.
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Don't work.
It's not in the. I'm
that
not
doesn't
near
work.
Home
That
Depot,
doesn't
maybe. You know, I don't know because you're there every day. But
Yep.
like somewhere like that is like if somebody gets me a gift card to like a flower store or something like that, I'm be
That's
like,
not gonna work, right?
it wouldn't. I'd be like, thank you.
Okay.
I'd probably re-gift it.
Okay.
No offense to my mom, but yeah, it's just not. It's not personal. I guess.
But you'll
once
re-gift something like that.
I would, because I wouldn't want it to go to waste, but
What
I
you
wouldn't
mean?
want to hurt it. Like I wouldn't want to just sit it on a desk and it just goes to waste. I'd rather give it to someone or get something from the store and give it to someone. If
Yeah.
I know I'm not into that, and if I can't find anything out of there, but I don't want to offend the person
Right.
for trying to do something nice for me.
Okay,
so
I got it.
I appreciate it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but those were the those are the gifts that keeps on giving. Of course, when you get gift cards, if you don't want it, you know what I'm saying, or later on you want to do something with it or put it up or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that's where I am with that. I'm not a big giver of gifts,
Okay.
and so I don't give a lot of gifts, but I give
On
a lot
birthdays.
on birthdays.
Right.
But I do give a lot all the time.
Right, all year round.
All year round I give. And so, but on those days, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta, again, not a big giver
Right.
on those days. You get what I'm saying? So yeah. So, but I tend to, my circle is small, and I make sure I keep a small circle. I'm gonna keep it that way, so that I'll be able to learn certain people I guess their little quirks and their ways. I'm learning them, and I'm also looking at the things they say they want or like, or some of the things I notice that they appreciate.
Right.
And I try to take those things and I try to grab the attention, and I try to grab some kind of, I guess you would play love. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? From them, and then I go ahead and sort of, okay, I'll see what I can do about this and getting them a gift
For their birthdays.
for their birthdays,
Okay.
or Christmas,
Okay.
or holiday. But I like to be thoughtful.
Mm-hmm.
I love to be thoughtful. You know,
Nice.
and that's
What's the
what-
best gift that you think that you've gotten for someone?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so the best gift I've gotten for someone, I'm a student of African studies,
Okay.
and a lot of my teachers I don't share with people,
Mm-hmm.
and so a lot of people I just don't share. A lot of books I do not give, but when I do share the information, you know, coming from my teaching or whatever, I oftentimes the people ask, where did you get it from?
Right.
We know where did you get that from?
Right.
And I see it. And then sometimes I say, okay, this is what I'm gonna do for you. I'm gonna share this information with you. So one of the best gifts I've given, but that has to be somebody that appreciate that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Someone that would appreciate information and knowledge,
Right.
and learn more learn about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm gonna share something with you that I find dear to me, and I think that's one of my best gifts.
Have you done that?
Yeah, I did it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
nice, nice.
That's
That's
one
cool.
of my best gifts. So to share something that's valuable to the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm
Okay,
saying, and
yeah.
something that will bring you value is one thing I would. Those are the gifts I love and appreciate. And then the look on your face, like, man, you thought about this, and then it's not the thank you, and it's not the thank you when I share it. It's the thank you when they read it.
Yeah.
So it was like a week or two later.
Right.
You get what I'm
Like,
saying?
I really
A
love that.
month later,
Yeah.
like you were like, yeah, high five from over the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, like, thank you. Like, yes, this was it.
Oh,
you know what I'm
me.
saying?
You
yeah,
really know
yeah.
me,
So
yeah.
those are the little things that I like doing.
That's cool.
So yeah, that's it.
It's a good gift.
Yeah.
You ain't asked me, but I'm gonna just say it. I think the best gift I've ever given, I think, around the time, my mom was sick. I don't know if you all know, my mother was sick during the pandemic. Was it like 2019 into 20? And she was very, very, very sick. ICU, couldn't eat for like 6 months, just extremely sick. And so as she was recovering, when she came home, we normally go away for Chloe's birthday.
Right.
And so we went away for Chloe's birthday. I was planning something, but I didn't know if she was really going to be able to go. So I just surprised her with a cruise. We were going to go with the cruise, so I wound up being able to take her on the cruise. She's been on a cruise before, but she never went when she had to pay. Right. So I was able to just surprise her with the whole vacation.
Yeah.
And to this day, she still talks about it. And she's like,
yeah.
My mother used to tell me that it's something about crossing water that's healing. And when I came off of that trip, I just felt like it was just,
wow.
She just felt like her recovery was like, she was there. She was getting there. Like she really, so
Good.
I think that I had to say that's probably the best gift that I've given so
that's
far.
Good.
I mean, as far as
you see, and those are the experiences.
Mm-hmm.
You get to experience something. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can share those experiences, and I think that's what I wanted. And I think that becomes a real good gift.
Mm-hmm.
A real good gift is what I want to say, but it becomes quality gifts.
Quality gifts.
Yes, it's qualities.
Quality experiences.
Yes, the experiences.
Moments.
Yeah, they can remember, and that's where it is. We was looking to get some equipment for the church, and while we're looking to get equipment for the church, because you had mentioned the water. Mm-hmm. And the guy, and so the young man, his name was Mike from California. Hey, Mike from California.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah. Sandals Church. And so I was talking.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll give him a shout out. He was good to us.
Yes.
So we get some equipment from the church, and he was saying Gen Zs and Gen Xs got to see something. He said they really got to. He said churches churches are big on sound, but we must understand the visual aspect of it. And he said some churches don't put much into that. He said, but I think this new generation want to see something. And it's important. He said, and that's the reason why people go up on mountains so they can see the greenery, the scenery.
Yes.
And then he said, this is also why people go on beaches so they can see.
Yeah.
And I used to say all the time, this is where Jesus went. You know what I'm saying? One of his his earliest messages was, you know what I'm saying, like on the shore. You know what I'm saying? In Luke chapter number 5, on the shore he spoke. And I never I never put the visual aspect into my talk or into my teaching. I often say that the reason he went on the shore and got on the boat is so that his voice would carry because there's so many people.
Yeah.
And you also go higher, so when you're speaking to so many people, your voice would carry.
Right.
So I would tell the churches, make sure the system is right.
Yeah.
Make sure they got good sound.
Yeah, which is true.
Yeah. But the visual aspect makes sense.
Right.
It gives it a new element, another nuance to the way I see it. And the way he was saying it, it gives something different about it because now I'm saying, like, yes, the visual is important.
It is important.
It is extremely important.
Yes.
And it's inspiring.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is
absolutely.
very inspiring.
And it's like, like in the Bible, everything almost kind of has scenery, right? It paints the picture of the description, like the valleys and the mountaintops. So whatever the scene is set, and of course we're visually like imagining it in our mind, but to see it in front of you just illuminates like everything. So it's great.
And when you and the beauty of visual is it helps you to communicate a message. It helps you to communicate the message because if I can put a picture, you get what I'm saying, to the words. I can paint an imagination. I can paint something in your mind.
Exactly.
And I was explaining Sunday about Job's experience.
Okay.
And how the men were how Job's friends was trying to correct Job when they were there to console him.
Yes.
But they corrected him. But how do you correct a man who was covered in boils?
Yeah.
And I said on one of the screens, I want y'all to see this and how he was literally scraping boils off.
Yes.
And in the middle of all of that, instead of consoling him, consolation turned to correction.
Yes.
And how do you console somebody when they're in all that pain?
Yeah.
Or rather correct somebody
when
they're in all that pain. It's a kind of.
But to be able
Go
to,
ahead.
would you finish?
I was just saying
No,
it's
go
kind
ahead,
of it's a strange anomaly
Mm-hmm.
to even see and sense. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they get a picture of it and you say, wait a minute now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got to read, and it makes you read the rest of those chapters with a little bit more concern
Yes,
for his friends.
for sure.
Like, what kind of friends
And
do
for
you
him
have?
with them
I know,
boys, like, okay,
so,
yeah, that's a
but
lot.
go ahead. What you about to say?
I was going to say that as far as like the boils are concerned, I mean, if you've never seen someone with boils on their skin, I mean, if you've seen someone with boils on their skin, instantly you cringe.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
You see boils, yeah.
But I haven't seen that person. You're in nursing, so
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't
touching it.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I don't.
Yeah.
You seen?
Some people come
wow.
in with huge boils, like they get huge, like
My mother
golf
had one on the
size.
back. I didn't want to see it.
Yeah, golf size
I heard.
boils, and they get red, and they really, it's a lot. I mean, look, if you haven't seen it, Google it. But as far as like, if you've seen it, you can be like, wow, yeah. Like certain people that saw it when you were teaching,
Right.
was like, oh yeah, Prophetess Sykes was like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
My mother had one, or she had one.
Yeah.
Like one of them had one. Yeah, my mother had one on her back. Darwin said, "You want to see it?" I said, "I don't want to see that."
Yeah, it's yeah. So, but
Go for it.
to have that visual presentation,
Yes.
of people being able to actually see it, even for the kids, like, I mean, it's a little, hey, like, get
Yeah,
ready. But
yeah.
to see it, it's like, oh wow, it just puts the feeling to the
words.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really completes the picture.
And if you're talking to somebody, and if you are ministering to someone, and if you're ministering, my father taught me always minister to minister. Never minister to someone just to feed them the word. Always minister to someone so they'll be able to receive the word and be able to articulate the word in their own way.
Oh yeah.
So always give to give. You give them the gift that keeps on giving. So he said, make sure you never just preach to the people. Always preach to people that may one day preach to people.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? So placing that visual will help people understand that it is difficult to attempt to teach people, give a theological lesson, you know what I'm saying, about God and heaven and how God feel about what you're going through and all the stuff when they're in pain.
Exactly.
Exactly. Why they're in pain. So, I mean, yeah.
And for the visual learner, I mean, of course, it's perfect. I mean,
Oh, my
really
God.
for every learner, I think that it would be a great asset for every learner. Just the visual in general for people.
Are you a visual learner?
I think I'm more of like a explanation type of person. Visuals can help depending on what it is, but I think detail and explanation kind of helps me best with learning.
Meaning?
Like some people can say like one word and be like, okay, it's red. Now I want to say red, but like there's a certain curve to it, but I need more detail in the explanation. Like, okay, it's curved to the left and then it folds backwards. And
okay.
I need to be able to draw it in my head, if
Right,
that makes sense, with the
right.
explanation that I'm being given.
Right.
So like just one word, something that I might not be familiar with, is a little bit harder for me to be like, okay, yeah, I don't know what that is. But if you paint it for me, as far as explanation and description, I'm more of a descriptive type of person. But visuals always help. I mean, when you see the picture or something,
Right.
I think it's great. Because some people just can't hear that at all. They have to see
they have
what
to
you're
see.
saying. So I'm not like that where I can't get it unless I actually see it. But
Yeah.
explanation helps best for me.
I appreciate visual presentations and someone who understand the visual learner.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. And I even appreciate when certain ministers paint a picture, opposed to just saying, hey, just live like this.
Yeah,
Or just
exactly.
do this. I think Jesus was also like that because he gave parables. So let me paint this picture of the kingdom.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Let me just paint the picture of the kingdom. And he always dealt with people who were, and not that he dealt with people, but he was able to give people the word that was able to, the word that they could get a clear understanding of what he was saying, because he talked about the things that they were accustomed to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sowing, reaping, building, saying,
Yes.
things they were accustomed to. He used those, those
Personalized
elements.
it. It felt personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so people can get a clear picture of it. And I think that, if the kingdom is a picture, then I'll receive it.
Absolutely.
If the kingdom is a picture, I'll receive it. And I think it's bigger than just saying something. I think it's showing me something.
Yeah.
And I think that that's also goes into, if we take that dynamic and add it to the life of the believer, then we also must exemplify. We can't just say it. We have to show it, because we become the visual to somebody else's.
right.
You get what I'm saying? So I often say people can't see Christ or God, but they can see us.
Yes.
And so, you know what I'm saying? Part of becoming, you know what I'm saying? Part of learning, part of developing, part of growing is saying, hey, I can shut all this talking down and start, walking it out and exemplifying it.
Exactly.
And then you can see it. So, yeah, that's
become the art. You become the picture.
Yeah,
you are the picture.
You are the picture.
You are the picture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you become that. And then once that is said, sort of you sort of conserve time. You don't have to spend so much time ministering, so much time talking. And yes, you do need that element. And I'm talking to the leader and to the minister. But if you can show me what that is, and then say it, and I can see it, I could then get a better understanding of what I should do and what I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because even a bad example is good advice. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like even a bad example is also good advice.
Right.
So even when I see something, you get what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to, not what I'm trying to say, but what I'm saying is there are some people right now who won't do certain things because they will mess up. You get what I'm saying? They make mistakes. But even the mistakes have to be seen.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Even mistakes have to be seen. There was a quote I'm working on right now. There's a quote I'm working on, and I've said it like 11 different ways.
Okay.
I wrote 11 different ways. I'm trying to say it so it just makes sense.
Okay.
But a healthy dose of ignorance is necessary when you're trying to discover something. Having an appreciation for ignorance, a healthy dose of ignorance is necessary in the field of discovery.
Okay.
You cannot be afraid to be ignorant of something, and in the ignorance, you make a mistake. A lot of people like, I don't try because I'm going to make some mistakes, and other people going to see me. People going to see me fail. People going to see me mess up. That's one of the marks of ministry nobody like either, that your stuff is on stage.
Yeah, for sure.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's all the mistakes is out there, and you got to have enough courage to say, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm learning as I'm going. And especially when God called you, when you have not traditionally grown up in a certain manner.
Right.
So you're learning, you're making all these mistakes, and you have to be able to be bold enough to say, hey, this is part of it.
Yeah.
So a healthy dose of ignorance is necessary, should even be appreciated in the field of discovery.
Okay. I like that.
In the field of discovery. So I'm working on that quote. I'm working on a quote. I want to say it perfect. I got it written like 11 times, like just trying to say it the right way.
Different
ways of saying it. Yes, but a healthy dose of ignorance. You know what I'm saying, Paul? I think it was Paul. It was in the book of. It's in one of the scriptures when the Bible says a man who think it's in the book of Proverbs.
Okay.
In the book of Proverbs, it says if a man think he's wise, let him become a fool so he can be more wise.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? And Paul said, if you think you act like you know something, you know what I'm saying? You really don't know nothing at all.
Right.
So it's learning, it's having that, okay, I don't know, I'm going to look ignorant, I may look foolish, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But even in that, there is a grace to that.
Right.
And the grace is saying, I really don't know, I am learning. It brings me to another quote. I tell all my ministers, let new be new.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Let new be new. You know what I'm saying? Let new be new.
That was a good one.
It
Took a lot of
calmed
pressure off. Took a lot
everybody
of pressure
down.
off. Like, oh.
Yeah, because this is new. This is new. I ain't never do this before. I've never had this. I've never, you know what I'm saying? Never wrote a book, never did this. And so you're going to make a lot of mistakes. And just like a baby, you get what I'm saying? That is learning how to walk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or a clumsy date,
Right.
especially the first one.
Right.
You know, let new be new.
Yes.
You know?
That's true.
So,
Yeah, that was extremely helpful. So, like, for those who can't get past the word ignorant,
Oh, let's go.
because
Let's go.
I remember when
Let's go.
you first start using the term ignorant,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, ignorant? I was ignorant and didn't even really like understand, like, hold on. Like, so what other word would you use for that? Or how would you, of course it would open up the stage or the setting for dialogue about that, because people are like, what do you mean when you say ignorant? Like it's borderline, like, I don't know if I want to call myself ignorant. You really have to get like your ego out the way, with your pride
And
out
that-
the way.
Well, that was part of what I was trying to do. I'm attempting to do.
Right.
I'm attempting to say, hey, you got to, and if you're learning something, pride can't be in the way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to keep you from because you acting like you know something you really don't.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you try to fake it till you make it. That works sometimes. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
sometimes.
at some point, you're going to get called
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
You know, somebody going to call you out.
For sure.
And I recall that. But ignorance does not mean you don't know. It means you don't take note of. It's not that you don't know, it's that you don't notice. So you're not taking note of what you're doing. And that's the ignorance I was speaking of. It's not that I just don't know something. A lot of us don't. A lot of us don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But are you paying attention enough at least to ask the right questions?
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Like,
think so.
like to act like I know when I don't is ignorant.
Right.
So if I'm standing up saying like, hey, I don't know, what do I do?
Right.
That removes that's healthier when you're
Is that
discovering.
the healthy dose?
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yes. So now I have nothing in the way and you have nothing on me.
Okay.
Because I'm learning it.
Okay.
I am learning it.
So, but somebody that, for example, is not even aware that they don't know,
oh, man.
like someone that is not aware that something they're working on, they don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that ignorant?
Yes,
Okay.
because you've I said it, and I often said it like this: you have it's like having all the tools but not knowing how. But you got imagine having all the tools to build a house and you don't have the skill.
Okay.
You had all the tools,
Right.
but you don't have the skill.
Yeah, right.
The house still
You
won't
don't
be
know where
built.
to start.
You don't know where to start. You don't know. You don't know what to do. You're putting the wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You probably want to hurt yourself.
Probably.
Probably
Building a
hurt yourself.
house.
Building a house. You're going to hurt yourself. And in hurting yourself, what happens while you're hurting yourself? You then halt the project. So now the project comes to an end because you're the one working on the project, but you didn't cut your finger off.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Why'd you take
and
that?
then after all of those things, you get what I'm saying? Then
Yeah.
and after that, the fear of it is another problem.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even ignorance. And here's another statement.
Okay.
The fear of ignorance does not. It's not. The fear of ignorance can't be in the field of knowledge. The fear of ignorance.
The fear of it. Okay, that's now see that. Yeah. Okay.
We are afraid
that.
to be called ignorant.
Yeah.
We're afraid to say we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But the fear of ignorance
Mm-hmm.
will halt progress.
Yeah, it will.
You got to be able to say, "I'm not sure about this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure." I mean, and people will tease and say, "You get what I'm saying?"
Oh, yeah.
And especially our community.
Oh yes.
Oh, Rhythm spoons. You remember that with
Rhythm
Martin?
spoons.
All the
I
time.
will
I'm gonna
never
teach
forget that.
Rhythm spoons.
Rhythm
Man, that
spoon,
man
I
ain't
will
never
never
opened up a
forget that.
restaurant.
Right.
You know? And
Yeah.
I don't care. And listen what I'm about to say, everybody. You can do as much work on paper as you want to. Just because it work on paper don't mean it's going to work on people.
True. True.
All the book, it's different when you have to deal with people.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're doing the Rhythm spoons, it's you know what I'm saying? So when I go to restaurants and I see the restaurant just open,
Oh.
I give all the grace in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the condiments, we ran out of condiments. We don't have this kind of meat. We don't have this kind of, we ran out of this. What do you have? You know, just what do you have? We ain't got these sporks.
I got to work on that.
Yeah, because you just started.
I got to go.
You just started. I recall when I first started pastoring, I recall a man writing us a check.
Okay.
He came out. I went to his church. And I preached. He wrote us a check.
Mm-hmm.
The check bounced,
Mm-hmm.
but the church just started.
Okay.
Oh my God. Why did I tell a couple of the members? Man, they went in. He shouldn't be starting no church. He shouldn't be doing this. He shouldn't be doing. They went in. He got to be more of this. He got to be more. I said, wait a minute, y'all. The young man just got started. You know what I'm saying? He came to our church. In fact, he didn't come to our church. I guess he was so embarrassed. He sent his mother to our church, and she said, "Take the check and I give you cash."
Oh wow.
Yes.
Well, at least they did that.
At least they did it, but I never hassled them about it, never
Right.
talked about it, because
Right.
they were just getting started. And all of us in here should have something in our lives in which we can say, I'm just getting started.
Okay.
Because it keeps us humble.
Yeah.
And you can approach something new in life. Have a new approach to this.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
Let's go ahead and get it started.
Yeah.
And you're going to look clumsy, cumbersome. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a part of life. It's a part of the way God deals with us. It's a part of ministry. It's the part we don't like, but it's a part of ministry. And we tend to be as skilled and concrete, and we tend to have all those things in place, and and knowledgeable as we can. But there's still a level of ignorance that comes with it, and being able to, as a leader, to stand and say, I don't know much about this.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know much about this. However, I'm learning.
Right.
And if y'all would be a little more patient with me,
Yes.
the leader can say that.
It's difficult for
It
leaders
is
to say that.
very difficult because the pride and the arrogance in the way, and I see all that stuff.
I mean,
man.
when you're used to, I think I don't want to say dominating, but dominating and leading.
What kind of word you use?
Dominating. Is that not?
Just why would you use that word?
I can't use that word. Is it not the best word? I thought
What?
it was a good one.
Go
Let
for
me
it.
Google the word.
No,
No,
you're
just
good.
Google it.
No, go
I mean,
ahead,
I feel
go
like
ahead.
dominating is good.
And like what? And what you mean dominating?
I mean, like exceed, like I don't want to say exceeding expectation, but when you're normally like some person that, if you're a person that's able to, if you do well in what you do, like dominate, you're doing well in the field that you're doing it. You're able to lead in that field.
Okay, well,
You're leading in that
just go
field.
stay with the word. Go ahead.
Wait, I'm gonna get a definition.
Go ahead, get it
me see.
done. Go ahead, go have at it.
Make sure we got the right one here.
Please do.
Let's see.
Dominate. Okay. You think leaders dominate?
I think leaders. Yeah, I think leaders can be dominating. Yeah.
Okay.
Depending on what they are doing.
Let me hear
Let's
it.
just see here.
All right, go get to the thesaurus part.
Oh wait, maybe that's wrong. Hold on.
I'm
Maybe that's
listening.
not the right one.
I'm listening.
That can't be the right definition.
No, yes it is. Say
No, that
it.
ain't
Yes
it.
it is.
We
You
ain't
want
saying
another
that.
definition.
I
That's
want
all.
another one. So I want another definition.
You can't get another definition to it.
This ain't it.
Just get another word to use another word. That's all.
Okay. All right. So I guess when a leader is used to, I'm gonna come back to that word because I thought it meant something else.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think dominating means?
Hey, look, we're not talking about that. We're talking about what you were talking about. You ain't doing that.
So when I believe that when a leader, I guess, is usually knowledgeable
Okay.
about what it is that the field that they're leading in.
Let's go.
And the group of people that they're leading, right? It's a little bit difficult if you're still leading that same group of people and you are going in a different direction.
Right.
That you might not have as much experience in.
Right.
Because I guess people are looking for a certain amount of confidence in the leader.
Uh-huh.
So when you can't express that at that time, or if you're in the learning phase, there's just no room to kind of grow to a certain extent, I think, with a group that already sees you in a leadership role.
Uh-huh.
Because they're expecting you to know everything.
Uh-huh.
So like, for example, as charge nurse, honestly, most of the questions as charge, well, I can't say most. A lot of the things that happen because they're emergency related and we don't know what kind of emergency is going to happen. There's no textbook answer for the situations or the questions that we're asked. Like whether it's like a question dealing with morals, whether it's a question dealing with patient safety or whatever the case may be. There's no book that answers the questions that people are going to ask you, whether it be another nurse that's just kind of confused about something or somebody's bleeding out, whatever it is, there's no rule book for it. And so if I'm leading my team for the day and there's like something random, if we have a new bed that we just have and just flip the patient upside down and I don't really know how to operate this bed, it's not that I'm like, that I don't know anything. It's just I really don't have that much knowledge on here, but they're expecting me to know how to fix this bed. Like the team is expecting you to know how to lead them, period.
Got it.
So it's like, I think difficult for leaders to be vulnerable in that stage to kind of just verbalize at times, hey, I really kind of don't know. Let me Google it real quick. You know what I mean?
Got it.
Just to actually be able to do that. It almost seems like you lose a little bit of your points, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because it's like, I don't know what they know. Like, it's one bed. I didn't know about the bed. I don't know about the bed. Let me just find out, get the manual. You know, it's like.
So you think that becomes an issue in leadership?
I think that it's very difficult for some leaders to be vulnerable
That's where I was going.
about their shortcomings. Not even shortcomings, but things that they're not. Is that a better
shortcomings? We can call them shortcomings.
Okay, to be vulnerable in things that they're not 100% efficient in, or that they're learning in. Even though all of us have to go through the learning process, the people that are responding to their leadership, it's always like a little side eye. Like, I feel like you should know this. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and so it just that vulnerability. I mean, you have to be vulnerable. You have to be honest. But yeah, I think that's a thing.
That's a thing.
I think it's a thing.
And so if
leaders to do.
if you go scripturally, the same thing happened to Moses.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying? So when you just came to mind, Moses came down.
Okay.
Moses, and I often tell the church, Moses was okay as long as he was, you use the word dominating, but as long as he was performing miracles, you never read where Moses had a big argument with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no arguments here, no
yeah.
arguments here. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we doing this thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We got locusts and, we got
Yeah.
frogs and, we
Yeah.
got all this stuff. We good. You know, let's go, God. Right?
Yeah, right.
You know,
God.
let's go Yahweh. Yeah, let's go. It's okay. So you get all of that, and then he crosses the Red Sea or the Reed Sea.
Mm-hmm.
He crosses the Reed Sea, and he gets to there, and then he has to deal with everyday problems,
Right.
everyday issues, and this is something he wasn't accustomed to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
He didn't know how to handle that, so he was new at that.
Mm-hmm.
So to let you know that, and I always tell people that this is the difference between pastoring and just preaching or evangelizing.
Mm.
I often tell people that it's a big difference. Yes, you can lay hands on and miracles and signs and wonders. You can do all those great works and great feats. Yes, God can use you. It's different when you got to deal with regular people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses just like, at that point, Moses asked for death.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
He asked for death.
For sure.
He like, this is just too much.
Yeah.
And then, because he had to deal with you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things he just was not. You get what I'm saying? Just accustomed to on a everyday basis.
Absolutely.
Later on, he started asking for that.
Yeah.
Before then, it was Jethro that came and told him, "Hey, Moses,
Delegate.
yeah, you gonna wear yourself out, man." You get what I'm saying? But people thought he knew because of what he had.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Like he has to know.
He gotta know. He just got
let
us out
us
of
look
this.
look
You
like
know what I'm saying? He gotta know. You know what I'm
Moses?
saying? Yeah, like you know what I'm
I
saying?
know you know.
You got me over. You know what
You
I'm
the
saying?
go-to.
You the go-to.
Yeah.
You got us over this sea. You God is with you. God is on you. Just because you see your leader do one thing,
Absolutely.
it does not mean that they are efficient,
To do
qualified to do everything.
everything.
And so now you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's something. Go for it.
And the thing with that is, in that particular role. So first of all, I also want to bring out like Solomon. If you think about Solomon with that, but in that particular role, I would have to say, as charge nurse, right?
Go ahead.
With those questions that we are asked, we do have enough experience and knowledge to be able to effectively answer pretty much any question, even if we don't know that anybody that's, I believe, in a leadership role with that particular.
So why did you have to say that?
Because you mentioned Moses in that situation. And so I believe that he still had the answer. He still had the answer was within him or whatever. Like, even though he didn't really know which direction he was going to go or whatever, like with the advice even from Jethro or whatever, like that he eventually did get with him and he advised him. So I'm just saying that for leaders in general that are vulnerable in that situation, like, we don't know everything. So what I'm saying is, but there should be something in you internally, like if someone's asking you a question, to either to be able to give them like a knowledgeable answer based off of the circumstances.
Really?
At least in my field it is.
So, okay, let's deal with this. And we're dealing with, and anyone want to chime in, please, and leave a comment or something.
And I'm not talking about makeup stuff.
No.
Yeah, like I'm not talking like, you know what? What you do?
No. That's right.
I think it's A. I think it's B.
No, I'm not talking about
Select all that
And
apply.
so,
I ain't talking about that one.
Okay, so I'm 45. I've been doing this 29, second generation pastor. Okay, so 29 is when I started. 45 now. Got it. All right. So in the middle of all of this, I am learning number one, that I have to learn from everything
Okay. Yeah.
and everybody in every situation.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Personalities, and you know what I'm saying, these traits, and I'm learning from everything, not just
Yes.
book knowledge. I'm learning from people, and so everyone to me becomes a potential teacher. And I'm the student of everyone. I'm the student of my daughter. I'm becoming the student of everybody, just so I understand.
Right.
I have a clear understanding of what's going on. I'm gonna preach about this Sunday.
Okay.
I'm gonna preach about this Sunday, but I'm gonna preach about the power of understanding and how you can relay a message to somebody, but if they don't understand it, it really is it's it's meaningless. So we're gonna deal with understanding and that interrelationship between that and how that's the most, you say dominant, but that's the most secure way to maintain a relationship.
Okay. Understanding?
That's the most secure way to maintain a relationship.
Do you feel like there's some people that just won't understand?
Yes, and they just break up with anybody and then keep
I
breaking
feel like
up,
they
making
can't
up, keep moving on.
understand.
Really?
Yeah, but I feel like you got to stick with. You have
That's
to
the
stick
vulnerable
with it.
part. See,
I'm talking about the understanding of it.
Well, okay. So if I have to learn something about my significant other that I did not know or thought I knew, and it takes me to a place where I now have to say, okay, you know what I'm saying? I have to learn this.
Okay.
I have to be patient enough to just see where they're coming from because I am now experiencing a part of them that I didn't see before.
Right.
And now I'm saying, what am I going to do with this?
Okay.
How am I going to handle them? How am I going to handle myself? What do I do in the middle of all of this?
Right.
Now they finally, now you tell me you was touched when you were young. Now you're going to tell me, you know what I'm saying? You really don't know how to deal with money. Now you tell me you scared. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Or now you tell me that you really don't love me right now.
Right.
Because it was infatuation at first. Or
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Now you tell me you got a problem with weight.
Right.
You get what?
Yeah.
So now I have to what do I do then? I'm learning them again. I'm learning the relationship again. Do we end this?
Right.
Do we go get outside help?
Mm-hmm.
How, you know what I'm saying? That's the question is how deep or how long is my patience?
Right. See, that's
understanding.
Is that understanding?
Yes, it is. See, because
Okay.
I have to get to my place because I have to stand under it. I have to stand under the situation.
Okay.
And you know what I'm saying? I have to
Trying to
stand
understand.
under the situation. I'm not
Okay.
going to bend. I'm not going to fold. I'm
Right.
not going to fall. I'm standing under what happened with us.
Okay.
Just to learn it so I can balance myself, balance the weight,
Okay.
get a clear understanding of what's going on.
With the goal to do that.
With the goal to keep the relationship.
Okay. So okay. Then that is understanding for sure.
With the goal to keep
But
it going.
if there's a situation where what you just said, all the things you just said in that relationship, but with the patience for people who don't have the patience.
With the patience with people who don't have the patience.
So if you're in a relationship that is now compromised, right? There are things that you didn't know about and now you know about, and it's compromising the relationship, and it's hard to kind of move forward in a relationship, right? Okay. So if one partner is willing to work on this matter, right, with all the things you just said, to me that's understanding. If the other partner is like, well, I don't have the patience for this.
Right.
I actually can't do that at this time. To me, that's not understanding.
Well, for the other person, because the other party don't want to.
Right.
Yes.
So I thought that you were going in that direction. So what I'm saying is that's not understanding. That's not understanding.
Understanding is being able to stand under this situation.
Yeah.
Is to get a clear. It's to
Not giving up in it. Not giving up on it.
Some things you have to
I
give
guess
up.
Some things you have to.
You have to
give
let
up
go
on.
of. You get what I'm saying? It for the sake of holding on to.
Right. But understand why you're giving up on it. I guess I'm talking about for the person that doesn't really understand, but it's like, I can't do this. I just can't do that. I'm not going to try to understand your point of view. I'm just going to walk away.
So what about that person? Because
that's not understanding.
I know that.
Yeah.
So what is understanding?
I would say understanding is,
in your opinion.
Let's see. Understand. If I had to give it a definition, I guess I would say it's the ability to. I guess it's complicated to. I want to say accept, but I don't want to say accept to the point that you have to accept nonsense. You have to accept all of these things, I guess, but to actually, I want to use understand, but I can't use the word understand.
Because you're talking about understanding.
I'm talking about understanding.
It is the number.
Go
ahead.
I got to think about it. I need some think time
to
get my little definition together.
Okay. So
think about the way to say it.
Okay, so there are certain things that we want. Out of a partner, out of life, you know what I'm saying?
Expectations.
Certain expectations. We want out of life, a job, a partnership, and everything else like that. Okay, but I understand that the things I want half of them I won't get. So I'm not as disappointed when things come up.
Wait, what?
Yes. See, this
again.
is understanding. Everybody, run here. Come on,
This is
just run it.
understanding.
This is understanding.
Okay, tell us.
Understanding is having an expectation for. Let's just use a number. Having an expectation for 10. Let's just use this number 10. I have an and I want to be simple so everybody can get it, and I want to be simple so I can articulate it, and so we can paint this picture like we talked about earlier. I expect 10. I expect 100. That's what I expect. Let's just 10, 100. Let's, a whole. I want all this. I expect that.
Right.
Got it? But I understand. And even when I expect all of that, while I'm working for it, fighting for it, dealing with it, praying about it, spoken tongues, sow seeds, you know what I'm saying? Giving my life to it, put everything in it, I won't get 100% out of it, especially if I'm dealing with people. That's understanding. Why? Because there is something in the people that I'm dealing with that I am ignorant of or ignorant to. So we go into the relationship saying, yes, we're going to do this, and this. But later on, I found out something happened. Something compromised. Something changed. And I understand change. I understand seasons. I understand that problems come up. So I don't fall apart when I don't get everything I've sown, fought, given, traded. Bought. even when I get a bag of chips, I understand.
Half the bag on
Half
the
the
air.
bag on me, yeah. So you sit there shaking that bag. You get what I'm saying? What you shaking the bag for?
Like,
Talk back to me, somebody.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah, so I do know I paid $2.49, but I'm not paying $2.49 for the whole bag.
Yeah.
So I am not disappointed when I open up that bag.
yes, even though they gave you the count at the bottom of how much it weighed, they told you.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I
I
told you.
understand that. So I deal with that when this is the way I deal with people. So the excitement of new is I have brought myself to a place where the excitement of new is the thing that I hate the most, because I know it's gonna wear off. I do not like because people got.
I don't know.
I'm just
That's
me.
called something.
I know it's called
That's what
something.
that's called.
I don't know. But you see what I'm saying? When I get in a relationship, and one of my friends know this, when I got into a relationship with one of my friends, a business relationship, and I said, I can't wait till this newlywed part is over. I cannot wait to this. I cannot wait till we get this part over so we can get into the real work. Right now, it's all smoke and guns and roses. Right now, it's happy to be with this person, happy that I joined this church, happy that I finally found a place where I can help and work, and I found the best place in the world. I found the best pastor in the world. I can't wait till that's over. Because I'm going to say something that's going to get on your nerves.
That's for sure. Every day. Every day of the week.
I'm going to say it's going to be something. So now that I know,
Every day.
and guess what? And when I deal with people, we are like, man, that's the best. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we get all excited, and we are elders getting excited over this type of stuff. I mean, the elders, I'm not talking about ministers. I'm talking about older folk. We get excited over these things, and I like to say, you know what? I need this stage to be over so we can get down to the real work. So I understand when people come around and everybody all like, wow, they good. Wow, yeah, that's not they good, y'all. They said, that's not good. I told them, no, it's not. They're not good. They're new. And since they are new and something that we needed at the time, or we needed for the moment, there's so adulation, and there is so much joy and jubilee. We are so juvenile and jovial that we just get excited. And then as soon as we see something we don't like, as soon as we see something we don't want, as soon as we see a flaw, a chink in the armor, oh, I thought they were. Why? It was just new. And everybody got some stuff with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
this is how I'm able to say, okay, so when I see something that don't go my way or don't go to a whole, you know what I'm saying? If I put 100% into something, I do not expect to get 100% out of it. I don't, especially when I'm dealing with people. But I will get enough out of it because I appreciate people. And my appreciation for people and for souls allows me to give 150%.
Okay.
I have a love and but see, I understand my ministry.
Okay.
I understand you ready for this? I understand that if I'm ministering, I'm not going to reach my whole church. I'm only going to reach 1/4. I understand this when I'm
right.
ministering.
So you have an understanding of those situations, but that wouldn't be the definition of understanding.
Oh no, that's understanding. See, listen what I'm saying. Let's go. Sow a sow seed. Correct. Mm-hmm. And then this is mark. I'm giving you a mark of ministry.
Okay.
Sow a sow seed.
Okay.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Some fell on thorny. Scorch, wayside. You know. Mm-hmm. 1/4 good ground. Mm-hmm. Okay. So if I got a room of 100,
right,
25 I'm gonna get it.
Right.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Now I got that part, but how do I reach the other 75? Mm-hmm. Make sure that I preach enough love to the 25 that they'll share it to the rest. That's understanding. I've just won my entire church, knowing I was only going to reach 1/4. That's what I call understanding.
Okay. Yeah.
I know.
I mean,
I know. I know.
It's I get it.
See,
it's like
go for it. Let me hear you.
So I'm trying to understand, like, so because for sure what you're saying is understanding.
It's for sure. That's for sure.
It's for sure
understanding
the residue or the
meaning
or
of it.
The
remnant. The rest.
The remnant.
What you saying?
It's the evidence
of understanding.
Hallelujah. It's the evidence of understanding.
Go for it.
Right?
Go for it.
But I think that would be a difficult definition because, like, because it's concerning. It makes me think about. So it's beautiful because of the, like I said, the evidence of it in how you receive it is a great way.
Yes,
is a great way of thinking. Mm-hmm. What it makes me think of is a person that. I have two sides to it, right?
Go for it.
All right, so the first one. All right, so the first one. All right, so I tried to look it up because I've heard of this before, and I don't know if you would say that this is the same thing. So it's basically a lack of enjoyment or pleasure for certain life experiences, like based off of past disappointments, if that makes sense. Like based off of experience of knowing that out of the 100 people, only 25 are going to really understand the message. Right, based off of experience.
No.
Based off of my experience.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
Right?
You go for it.
Okay. My experience is telling me that out of 100, only 25 is really going to probably understand, or out of 5, only 1 is going to be the one that really understand.
Yeah.
My experience lets me know that, right?
Yes, and sales,
and discernment, and all of those things.
All those businesses, yes, selling insurance and everything else. It's not going to get that many. Go ahead.
So so that is I understand that based off of these things, this may be my result.
This is the result.
This may be my result.
No, this is the result.
This could be the result.
Oh my God. This is the result.
This may be the result.
This is principle.
This may be the result. I'm saying if you go into every situation.
Listen, and I talk. Wait, let me, and don't lose your thought.
I'm not talking about. I'm going to lose it.
Please don't lose your thought.
I'm not talking about the scripture particularly.
No, but listen, don't lose your thought though. Please do not lose your thought. Okay, we'll be dealing with this. But when you learn,
and then we got comment too.
When we learn, it takes, and I said it takes 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup.
Wait, I got to write my thought down because I'm going to forget.
Did you hear what I just said?
No.
It takes 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup. You're not going to get 40 gallons, 20 gallons, 25 gallons. You have to extract 40 gallons of sap to get 1 gallon of maple syrup. So I understand that you have to put 100 in to get 1 piece out. And here is my next point about understanding. This is the model and the understanding and the fact that keeps people faithful, especially people who know how this works. You have to stay faithful at it. You have to keep, and it's part about it, the sower, sow seeds, because you have to do that. And if you do that, then you'll be able to, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get the peace that you need for your life, but you're going to put more out than you get back. But what you get back will be enough for you to live off of, and you can appreciate the value of what you get back or what you receive, because you know how much it took for you to work, or you know how much work it took for you. I put it that way, to get that. Now, let me hear your point, because you're not going to get 100% out of it.
I'm not saying you're going to get 100% out of it.
You're not going to get 90.
I think that, so when I hear that,
Go for it.
and I'm not talking about the scripture per se, but I'm talking about just going into things with the perception of that. I think that it is almost like a defense mechanism.
To who?
It's a self defense mechanism.
Like you're trying to protect yourself?
Yeah.
From the truth?
From not necessarily the truth, because I don't think that's everybody's truth.
That is worldwide.
I don't think that's everybody's truth. Like,
That
for
is-
example, if
wait a minute.
wait,
Go for it,
so
Dave.
if I'm
You gotta
if
deal
I'm
with this.
going into, I'm not talking. I'm talking about like a specific. Like, let me give a specific example. Like, so if I know that I'm having a gathering, right, and I know that I've invited 100 people, or I guess I can use the 25. I know that all 100 of those people are not going to show up. I can't prove that just that 25 of those people are going to come, because it may be 35, it may be 45, it could be 50. I'm not really sure. I don't expect the whole 100 to show up. I know that. I've got to be realistic, and I can't be delusional.
So give me 100 then.
So I'm just saying, if I've invited 100 people,
So give me 100.
give you 100, what are you talking about?
How did you get the 100?
I'm saying if I've invited,
You're not listening.
what do you mean?
How do you get the 100?
I don't know what you mean.
You
How do I
invited
get the 100?
You invited 100 people,
Yeah,
and you know 100 people not going to show up.
right.
How do you get 100 people there?
What do you mean? What ways do I get 100 people there? That is against the point. I'm not. That's
Keep
not
on
what
going.
I'm thinking.
Keep on going.
Because
Keep
I'm about
on-
to say I don't
I
understand.
keep on going. Keep on going. Just
Okay.
keep on going. I was just saying your understanding. Go ahead. Because you know you're not going to get 100 people there.
Right.
But if I invited 100 people,
Mm-hmm.
you know you're not going to get 100 people.
Yeah.
But do you want 100 people?
If I invited them, I would like for them to come.
Okay, then you know understanding says you got to invite 250
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I understand that,
That's understanding.
but that's
Go
a
for it.
form of having an understanding of what's going on, but it's still based off of
The truth.
my experience.
No, that's based on the truth. That's even based on our human experience.
I just said that. It's
You-
based off
no,
experience.
No, not your experience.
Experience. It
No,
would be based off
I mean
experience
the
as well.
human life experience.
Right, but it's also based off a personal experience. Like what my expectation
Go ahead, let you go,
expectation,
go for it.
my expectation would be based off of my experience. And yes, also you can say human experiences as well, but it would definitely be based off of what I know for myself, or the evidence that I've gathered, or the data, whatever that I've gathered from other people that have thrown a party. But we talking about this party right here that I've invited 100 people. So anyway, like if I invited 100 people and I'm like, I know all the 100 are not going to show up. I think the saying that, hey, only like 10 people are going to show up, or like 5 people or 25 people are going to show up, I feel like that's a self-defense mechanism to protect yourself from the fear of somebody not showing up. This is a regular basic example that I'm trying to give, but the expectation of your expectation being not met, and for some people that's crushing. So to me, that makes more sense. Like as far as like the understanding piece that you were saying, like with you going into something saying that, hey, I know that if I do this amount of people, it just reminds me of this. It's not a symptom, but it's like I don't want to call it a disorder, but it's like a mental thing that I've heard of, where as though people go in and they don't allow for the experience to be the experience, right? Because I already am saying to myself, I invited 100 people, but I know like only 10 of them going to show up. It's like, and then 50 of them show up. I'm just saying that when you diminish it, it's almost like it does something to like it's no point in having like an expectation at that point. So I don't know if I could say that, like, what based off of what you said, it didn't sound like understanding.
Purely understanding.
It didn't sound. It didn't really sound.
Like I said, if you want 100, invite 250. Purely understanding. And if you invite 100, you know that 100 ain't gonna show up.
Right.
That's understanding.
That's
just understanding.
That's based off experience, I guess.
No, okay. So so you based off yours experience. If I never had that, it would still be true.
What, that 100 people not going to show up?
Yes. If I never did that, that's true. And when I say the human experience, I don't mean our experiences.
Okay.
I mean the human genome experience.
Okay.
Simply means that 1 million sperma hit the womb, only one gonna give life to the.
Yeah.
So you got you 1 out of 1 million. So that's just the life part of it. Of all the seeds, you see what I'm saying? But that's the same thing as the sower sowing all those seeds. Only a few gonna germinate.
But I'm saying, if you look at every situation like that, to
That's
me, it
a
can't
life
apply.
situation.
To me, that can't apply with every
So,
situation.
And now tell me why.
Because everything is situational. So, like I said, if I invite the 100 people, I'm just going to stick with that. If I invite the 100 people, and I do get 75 people that do actually show up, I mean, and I've in my mind only set my expectation for 25. It's almost like diminishing. It's like not degrading, but it's more diminishing.
No.
That's actually like a thing. Like when people do that, that's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm not talking about, you're talking about the emotional aspect of it, and I'm just talking about the truth of life.
I'm talking about the truth of
You're
life.
talking about how people feel about it. I'm not talking about my feelings to
The
it.
sense in general, yeah. Like
I don't feel bad.
Yeah, it's not about.
I'm
that.
not disappointed.
Okay.
I just know that if I'm known by the principle of sowing. That if I sow this many, I'm not going to reap as many as I sow.
Right.
So God always gives you more seeds to sow, because even God knows.
Yeah.
So even God knows this. We don't feel bad about it.
Right. But
Okay, here's another one.
okay.
Here's another
Based
one.
off of your original example of, or your definition of understanding.
I'm still with the same thing.
Right. What was your original definition?
My
of
original understanding in this context?
What was the original thing that you said for understanding?
We can't, because we're talking about relationships. You put a
I know,
hole
but
in.
still.
I put a hole in, and I know that I'm not going to get 100% out. That's what I said. I know that I'm going to put 100% into something.
You said something else.
Yes, but I understand. But this is my explanation. I understand. I'm not going to. So I don't expect. When I go in, I don't expect to receive everything that I place.
Absolutely.
So I don't expect that.
Yeah,
that's just understanding. It's not a bad. That's not. Yeah.
We had to go back to another time.
Right, but
Because it was something else that.
But this was my point.
Okay.
My point is, you can put 110% into something. If you put 110% into something, don't expect to get 110% back.
Yeah.
In order to get the 110%, you got to put 300% into something.
Right. That's the point that I was making afterwards. But the original definition of understanding was something different from that.
Okay, and we were talking about that.
I don't remember exactly
but
what you
this
said.
is my point. My point is not it's not that there was no disappointing feeling. There was no delusion. There was anything. There was nothing like that. I think it's delusional when people think that just because they do something, they're gonna get it back in return. Now, I think that's delusional. I think it's so delusional. I think it's immature.
Yeah, definitely not.
And so now when it comes to a level of maturity, you can say, okay, then again, the principle of 40, 40 gallons of sap is 1 gallon of maple syrup. You got to put more into it. And then, you know what I'm saying? Just to get the few out of it. You got to put more in just to receive the few.
Okay. Yeah, next time you got to let me finish my thing.
Okay.
Because then it'll go, and then I can't really bring back.
Right. So do you think that's understanding though? You do think that's understanding?
I need to hear the original definition you said, because the original
I didn't have a definition, I had an explanation.
Well, your original explanation is what triggered that. But what I was saying was that it was not that I didn't really agree with that definition. It was like I said, it was the evidence of understanding, but there was something in it that was like it reminded me of another type of situation where, as though people remove, like I said, a self-defense mechanism. But I would have to hear that original.
All happiness is removed, all feeling is removed, all expectation is removed. So I don't bring none of that to the table. And so when I don't bring that to the table, I'm able to be sound about my judgments. I'm able to be sound about my decisions. I'm able to say, okay, you know what I'm saying? This is how it's going to be going in. We were talking about letting new being new as well. And I'm saying, so when we get into something new, I already understand. Let's get this new part over. Let's not just get all excited because you met somebody new, you got somebody. Can we get all this over? Because the excitement of new will wear off. But that's understanding too. And so I'm able to already get ahead of it. To sort of, you know what I'm saying? In a relationship, and when I'm dealing with people and new people come to the church, and I said it, that's what I said earlier. You think you found the best pastor in the world. They're going to say something. They're going to do something. You're going to find out something. So let's just, if you understand this, understand that the reason why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, dealing with things the way I'm dealing with, is because I'm experiencing something new.
Okay. Yeah.
Enjoy the new, but know it's new.
Right.
I'm happy about this car I just bought because it's a new car.
Right.
But I also know that 6 months down the line, this note might get on my nerves.
Right.
I already know that.
Right.
So get what I'm saying? It don't mean I don't enjoy the car. It don't mean I'm not glad. It don't mean that. But it does mean I can't get stuck in this new car smell.
Right.
Nah, this new level and everything else, because this is going to cost later when I feel like the money should be going somewhere else. So I don't have to get overly excited. You ain't excited about you got it. You ain't happy. Like, it's all right. You ain't.
I mean,
yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Let's get ahead of it now. You ain't go, wow, you ain't happy you got that? We got something, but we happy because we knew. That's the happiness of it. And I can enjoy that.
okay.
I can appreciate the newness of it. You
Okay.
know?
So the reality of, all right. So with the new car, for example.
Go for it.
Obviously, yes. True. Like if you get a new car, everything's new, smells good and all of that, floors vacuumed. As the time goes by, I mean, obviously the car is still producing, productive or whatever like that. Do you think that that having that sense of, I guess you're calling that understanding, is like, do you feel like it affects the situation itself? Like, because it's just, I don't know. I guess to a certain extent it's wisdom. Would you say?
You just don't put yourself on that.
But
You don't put yourself in
like
that place
weird.
where when you fall off, it's a hard fall or a long fall. You're not so high on what you're doing that when you fall, it's a big drop. Because there's going to be some ebbs and flows, and it's going to drop. That's just life. It's just life.
Okay.
People are like, well, I'm gonna stay up here. No, you're not. You're gonna be high some days, and you're gonna be low some days. If you understand that low is coming, and you understand that when you're low, you ain't gonna stay low, you're gonna be high. It's a part of life. And you're gonna experience these parts. So you don't have to be an emotional victim to your circumstances. You don't have to do that. You don't have to be an emotional victim to your circumstance.
Right. But then
Good or bad.
Yeah. That would have to be
Understanding.
that would have to be that concept, or people would need to get that early. It would be helpful. It would be really helpful to get that early for people that do actually live in the space of
High highs and low lows?
there's no lows. There shouldn't be any lows.
Who said that?
A lot of people think there shouldn't be lows. And when they're low, like
You don't think that, right?
No, I don't think that.
Oh.
But I'm saying that it would be, I don't think a lot of people have an understanding of that. I think and I think that's why lows hurt so bad. Like that's why lows are so, for some people, hard to recover from, like really hard to recover from, because there's an expectation that there's not supposed to be any lows. There is I would call it, if I had to give it a name, a fairy tale effect.
And this is why I teach the way I teach. And this is why I said this yesterday. I'm not interested in my leaders being happy. I need them to be sane.
Right.
I need them to be sane. And another word for leadership that I'm looking for now in my life is to be sound. Not to be happy, but to be sound-minded.
Okay.
I said it yesterday. And I said it yesterday because I am noticing the thrills of highs. And I'm noticing the anguish of lows. I'm like, wait a minute. You know this is going to turn around again. You can't stay down here.
Right.
And when you high, I'm like, hey, calm down.
Mm-hmm.
You know there's a low coming.
Right.
So people like, well, I want a church full of members, but you forgot the Bible says that if you got a house full of, that's just your sheep. It's your sheep. Use animals. Sheep. There's gonna be a lot of dung in the house, and so we like all that. Wow, we got a lot of members coming to our church,
But not
and
what
so
it comes with.
thank you, and that's my point about Moses, and that's my point about understanding. People like, wow, our church is growing in large numbers. So you got people coming on TikToks and stuff like that. We got 25 members in 1 month. We can show you how to get 100 members in the next season, and this is a proven system. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna get 100 members, but no, if you're a real pastor, you're gonna have 100 more problems. And they not talking about that. And then you got people wild and they looking at this concept and they go purchase it. But be mindful, you are buying a problem. You are buying a potential headache. That's what so all you're doing. You just don't know it yet. I do. So I'm trying to tell you, hey, you got them guys coming on there? We can get you 250 members in 30 days. Proven system. We looking like, man, let me tap on this shop now button. Let me tap that button. And they give you all these concepts of people and how to win people and how to draw them in and how to improve your media. They give you all that stuff. But hey, Moses, hey, you know who you're inviting. Or are you so concerned about your numbers that you don't know who you're inviting? And that's where I come in and say, hold up. That's when I come in early. And you said we had to learn it early, but hold up. Wait a minute. Let's be mindful. The joy have to be understanding. With the joy of this, I understand that there's going to have to be a strength coming. There's going to have to be a strength to sort of not counteract, but to counterbalance this joy. And so it looks like you don't enjoy life. No, I need the strength to deal with what comes after the joy. I need that strength because that season could be a long season. Winters seem long. They only about a couple of months, but they feel long.
Realism.
That's all it feels long. So you're going to have those highs, but those highs and lows are a part of life. So now I told the church about how how this quarter went with no emotion. I'm like, with no emotion.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. You're dealing with all that.
But somebody else.
And that's what I'm trying to pull them out of.
Exactly.
And I'm trying to tell them that the highs and lows was in part of God's plan.
Right.
You didn't want it, but it's in the plan of God.
Oh, yeah.
And so God got electricity in his plan.
And we see it.
And so now, how do you govern yourself when it's low? That's understanding.
Okay.
And how do you handle yourself when things are going the way you want them to go? That's also understanding. I'm not looking for a low to come, by the way, but I do know what's coming. So protect yourself.
And I also think understanding is the patience to understand, to see or whatever, to accept that there are some people that just won't actually understand that portion of it, if that makes sense, because they don't understand the ebbs and the flows. That's why I was talking about the earlier, getting it early, or something like the ebbs and flows being explained earlier in life for everyone, in general. So because to me it would take patience. Like if somebody comes to you and they're just devastated over every low that they get, and it's kind of, I'm not saying it would be difficult for you to understand that, but it could be difficult for somebody that's really has a clear view of what understanding is. Like some people wouldn't be able to really tolerate that because it's like you need to snap out of it. You delusional. Like this is delusions to a certain extent. I know you don't like when I use the word delusions. Yeah.
And millionaires and billionaires do projections. You know what I'm saying? They know during the season it's going to be like this, and they cut costs and cut workers, and when it goes up, it's projection. So now you begin to take, and that's what seasons does. Seasons, now here goes another level of understanding. Seasons are designed for my memory. That's what God gives the seasons for.
Okay.
The Bible said God give you these seasons. They serve as signs. Seasons, the stars in the skies and the lights and the lights above, serve as seasons and signs. Those things are given for my memory, so I can remember what I did in one season. So when that season come again, I'll know what to do.
Okay.
I often say seasons was given so we'll know what fruit to plant or what vegetable to plant in any given season, because all fruit or vegetables don't grow in a you know what I'm saying, in every season. You have winter fruit, you have spring, but you should be able to eat all year round.
Right.
If you know what seeds to plant. So in a hard moment, in a difficult time in your life, the question I have to my people is, what seed have you planted to deal with that hardship? Because you knew it was going to come, even if you didn't know where it was coming, because you know it's a part of life. And we can't put everything on the devil. We can't. I mean, that's what we do when we preach.
Yeah. You have to prepare. Preparation.
So
It's a preparation.
of all those sunny days in Florida, they know that there are some storms that's going to come.
And you saying that's understanding?
That's why God placed palm trees in Florida.
Okay. Is that understanding?
What? Yes.
Okay.
God put palm trees in Florida. You know, ain't no palm trees in Baltimore. Palm trees are in Florida because they can stand the storm. They been during the storm. So I am saying God has placed something in all of us. Are we aware of it? My security in this is understanding the fact that these things will come. No, it ain't no might. I don't care how much you pray them away. They will. So tell the people. Tell them.
Okay.
Tell them. And the people who don't have any emotional intelligence, I have another word. Keep them out of leadership.
Okay.
Because they're going to hurt other people. Okay. So yes, you're anointed. Yes, you high. Yes, you can. Yes, you can fly. Yes, you can slay people in the spirit. Yes, you can preach up a storm. You can sing down heaven and, prophesy what somebody got in their pocketbook. But you have no emotional intelligence. So when the lows come, you just, I can't find you. Now somebody need a word and you undercover somewhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You had the covers over your head. Like, hey, we need you. Like, when I get out of this season, God got me in a covering season. I'm like, hey, come from out of those covers. Get up. Yeah, don't expect people just stand up, Pastor Flakes. No, get up. Don't do that. Because when we need you the most, it's not when everything is okay. You need it when it's tough.
Okay. So those who lack emotional intelligence,
keep them out of leadership.
They also would lack understand. They would obviously not understand.
Yep.
They would lack understanding.
And I had to learn that the hard way.
Okay.
I had to learn that now that's something I learned the hard way. Just because they can slay people on the floor, just because they can run around, just because they got all that, they
quit.
They are not, yes. And sometimes when you attempt to say, okay, because I believe that the secret and the sacred is in the conversation. I believe that when we converse as ministers and leaders, then we begin to get a clear understanding of what we're dealing with so we can be equipped, ready. We can provide a sense of harmony. And if need be, victory during those times. I said it I said it the other day. Oftentimes when the Lord don't give you much, it's because he's trying to take some things away. And it's a sign you may not have enough room for everything you're asking the Lord for. So there are people right now who are asking the Lord for a great word. But right now they don't have the mental space. And God's not going to waste his word. But you don't have the mental space. You don't have the energy and the space to even receive that. So God, thank you for the peace that you've given me. No, not just the PEACE, the PIECE. Thank you for my portion.
Yeah.
Because you know me and you know that I don't have enough right now to handle all of that.
Okay.
You know that I got enough, but I don't have enough wisdom to place it in its proper order. I can't even arrange my thoughts. So now I got all these things that God has given me, and I don't know where. So now you look confused. Or now we look confused and lost. And now, but God's giving you, but you're like, God, you give me so much, but you don't have the wherewithal to organize everything. So I tell my people, I teach to my people, and I tell them, work on yourself. Work on you. God going to give you. Stop. You stop. God, I want. God, I want. God, I want. God, I want. God, I want this. I want that. I want more of your love. I want more of your peace. I want more. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait. I need to be a vessel to handle everything that you're giving me. Because overflow and spilling denote the same thing. Because you can be empty and spill on the salsa. And you can overflow and be still and spill. Or rather flow. So people are like, well, I got overflow. But now you're so sloppy, you're spilling. And it's the same thing. The conscience on the inside is actually affecting the outside. But if I shake up something that's empty, it's still going to get on the salsa. It's still going to get on the outside the cup. And if there is overflow, I can be still and the salsa, the plate still get it. So now work on yourself. Because think about it. The contents inside affected the outside. And think about it, everybody. Y'all think with me, please, especially my ministers. Think. When look at a cup, fill it up. Let the cup, keep the cup, you know what I'm saying? Firm and, on the table, the counter, right. Sauce or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Good. Fill it up, it overflows. It gets on the sauce. It gets on the plate. Beautiful. Cup half full. Shake it. And it still gets on the plate. The stuff on the inside still get on the outside. So something on the inside working on the outside, bring a change. Yes, it still affect people. So you have to make sure. Now you have to make sure. You, not God, me. Are my people affected by my overflow? Or are they affected by my sloppiness? My instability. It denotes the same thing. The stuff on the inside is getting on the outside. So people right now think that they are flowing and their members are getting it, but really you're spilling.
And so you're saying that basically like the person or the people may not have the room or the capacity to be able to house what they're asking for?
Or they got too much room. Or they're not still enough to allow the Lord to give them their room.
Okay.
So if God's going to fill a person, there must be a level of stillness. Go into the upper room and sit there. Tarry till you endure with power from on high. And the Bible says, all my Bible readers, they were sitting in the upper room. The Bible did not say they were jumping, shouting, praying, running. That's not what the scripture says. You start getting into theology. You're going to find quite a few things that they were doing. But I'm not bringing thought from the halls of the academy. I am talking to the everyday man who got a King James Version Bible in front of him.
Okay.
And so you read your regular Bible. You ain't got to go into. You ain't got to go any. You don't have to get on any. You don't have to go to any concordance. Just a regular book.
Right.
The Bible. Go to the Book of Acts and read. Book of Acts says they were sitting in the upper room. Then there came a mighty rushing wind, a wind. we jumping and shouting and moving and music. And okay. I get it. But that's not what it said. And I'm not saying you can't receive it by virtue of expressive, exaggerant praise. I'm not saying that. I am only telling you, I'm only stating that I'm stating the precedent. I'm citing a precedent. That's all I'm doing.
Okay.
They were sitting. They were still God-filled. So I am telling my people, in the ups and the downs, be still. Be still.
Okay.
How low are you going to be low? You don't know. And how high you going to be high? You don't know. None of us know. All of us say, I want to be this year. And everybody got New Year's resolutions. Oh, my God. This one. How many years? What year did I preach? I preached something a year ago. Okay, good. I preached something a year ago, Ted, called, what I say? We're going to have a sweatless victory, something like that. I forgot what I got. Oh, come on, help
effortless.
me. Effortless. This year going to be effortless. God gave me that word. This year going to be effortless. Everybody like, yeah, effortless. We ain't going to do nothing this year. Man, that was one of the hardest years of my life. I said, God, you gave me, did you get that word to them on me? Like, I know I heard you. You know, I said, this year going to be effortless. Get t-shirts. Get merch. No. So when it didn't happen, I didn't get upset. I ain't no lying prophet. I ain't got time to play games. I said, God, what happened? What transpired? You gave what was necessary for that time. You gave what I gave you. And people were blessed by it. Was no games. Wasn't any of those things.
Right.
Were blessed by it. Oh, my God. I said it was going to be effortless.
What year was that?
I think this year I wrote my book.
21. No.
Yes.
Was it?
Yes. It was that year.
It was 21?
It was the year I wrote my book. It was that year. Go do. It wasn't 22.
I think it was like...
And it wasn't 20. Because the year 20, year 20.
I think it was 21.
What year did I write the book, Tim?
I can't remember. 21.
So how?
Pandemic. I can't remember. You know the dates, the times. It's
See,
like
I'm
everything
talking about
comes together.
Yeah. I know it wasn't 20. I know it wasn't.
Find out.
Yeah, we're about to find out now.
You might be right.
I think so.
Here we go.
It wasn't.
22.
It was 22. I wrote the book in 22.
No, 2022 was the year of Effortless.
Effortless. Okay. So that's the same year we did. And I wrote the book in 21 or 22. When was the book?
22.
The book was in 22.
The end of 22. No, that's audio copy.
No, yes, that's right. 22, because the same year we started.
22.
So the year I wrote the book, the year I wrote my book, and our first year of Liber.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's the year God said it was effortless. That year took so much work and it was so labor intensive for that year. And God has a sense of humor. He has a great sense of humor. Because that may not have been a year like that for you, but that's what I spoke out of your life because it was that year for somebody. And I'm wise enough to know. And this is I'm telling you.
I thought it was effort. I thought it was pretty smooth.
See?
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
See what I'm saying?
Like the book came out, like it was things that happened.
See, I know the backstory.
I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, I know the backstory
So you know
too, but I'm just saying, like.
See, for you, it was pretty smooth. So watch this. So that word helped somebody.
Yeah.
Who said it had to be for me?
Right.
And that's
maybe
the point.
it was for you, and you like, I don't know, I guess.
You get what I'm saying? I'm just telling you my experience.
Okay.
And so now I just give the word. You don't have to worry about, did you do it? Did it happen? Did it? You don't have to do all that stuff. You don't have to do all those things. So that's where I am with this.
Yeah.
So and I do know that God will, and here, understand it. God will send me to a house for 500 and give me a word for one. Like, man, I know that.
Yeah.
So when the house don't move when I'm preaching, you don't see me like, I'm preaching. Y'all don't want this word. I ain't talking to y'all. I'm only talking to that one guy over there in the corner.
Right, yeah.
I know. Do you know how many churches I went to? And I went to one church. I ain't lying, y'all. He's a good friend of mine. I went to one church, and while I was preaching, the whole church started going in. I started talking about my sign. I'm an Aries. I started using word like energy. I got to sit this apostolic church down. And you just saw the whole church. You don't preach like that, that's not wise at all. But I went to my friend's because I saw the movement. But the Lord had me ministering to one person.
Right.
And we talked about this. We laughed about it a little bit and joked about it a little bit. But the Lord sent me that far. And I don't mean as far because there's a church right around the corner. But the Lord sent me over there for one person. But I understood that.
Right.
I understood the assignment.
Okay.
So, to God. I say the same thing when people who want to start a podcast.
Okay.
Like, I got some good points.
Yeah.
Okay, good points. I got this, I got that. Okay. But let's deal with this right now. Even when I do marriage counseling, everybody ready for this? I don't do marriage counseling to get people down the altar. When I do marriage counseling, the first thing I tell them, I use wisdom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what you're going to be dealing with in 7 years. So let's work with this. And let's start building these building blocks to see who you really. I don't get into all that. You love her, you love what she's doing, and you got to care for her and rub her feet, and you got to appreciate the man. No, we're not going to do that right now. Because my job is not to get you down the altar.
Right.
Just to get you down the altar. My job is also to keep you from divorce court. The average, see what I'm saying? You see how that I ain't pressed about you getting down the altar.
Right.
And pastors don't think like that. Pastors talk to get you down. We even preach to get you down the altar. But we must also, and that's why 52% of all marriages in the church end in divorce.
Wow.
Because we don't preach enough to people to keep them from divorce court.
The start, but not the finish.
Yeah. So you already know where it's going to go. So, hey, why are you getting into all this new stuff? They know what to do right now, clearly.
Understanding.
Clearly, they know what to do now. It's down the line. And so I ask questions that they're going to face, that they are going to run into 5 and 6 and 7 years.
Let's go.
I enjoy new stuff, but can we get this out the way?
Right. You understand that it's not going to stay new.
What?
Okay. All right, well, take that. We'll take that, I guess. It's not going to stay new.
It's not a bad thing, is it? Let's hear you. I'm finished talking my point. Let's hear your side of the story. I'm not even going to interrupt it. So we're going to give the whole night.
The one that I actually,
But let's hear your side of the story.
I don't know. I think that you should let new be new. I think it does take off a lot of expectations when that statement in itself, letting new be new. But I do think that it can be, I have a hard time with it because I know that it's unrealistic to say that this new car is going to stay completely new. Like I get that, but it almost and it's realistic. It's the realism in it. So that's why I'm having a hard time even saying the other side to it. But it's realistic that you know that it's going to be, but it's almost like defeating a thing before it gets started. I mean, I understand that you have to understand that this effect is going to happen. Like this is it's inevitable for some of these changes to happen. So I get that. I get that part. And maybe it might just be the language to it that has like a negative connotation. That may be what it is. So I get it. I'm not in disagreement with that.
I said I'm not saying nothing.
That's a reason, I guess, for age and things like that. Like obviously there with time there will be changes to things, and it could be up, it could be down. I mean, I understand that. It just, when you go in and kill the part, it's just like I get it.
So why is it negative? You didn't say why is it negative. You said negative. I never used that word.
You didn't use that word. I'm just saying it can have it's some of the things, depending on the situation, can have like a negative connotation to it. If you don't understand, like a married couple going into, obviously they would need to know that this relationship is kind of not. It won't exactly. It shouldn't stay the same as it is when you all first got together, right? You all should be maturing and understanding, and what you laughing at, all of those kind of things like that. What?
I'm laughing at you.
You laughing at me?
What?
Okay, so in the relationship, you're maturing, and obviously things are going to change throughout the relationship, right? We understand that the marriage should hopefully get better, right? But sometimes it goes through the up and down. That's when people kind of let it go. But what I'm saying is, it's just like a negative connotation when you go on and say, man, this thing is not, I don't know, I guess it's in the presentation of it, but it is right. I can't say that it's not. I can't come against it.
You didn't say why you said it sound negative.
Because it goes against your expectations. So like I said, with the party, if I have an expectation that 100 people are going to show up to this party, and realistically, yes, I know that everyone's not going to come up, but cutting down saying like, okay, you might just get 5 people to it almost, it puts a negative vibe over your expectation. Like it just kind of dampers what could actually happen. I think when you severely remove, like, I don't know, it comes against your expectation. There's no point of having that expectation, which I guess you shouldn't necessarily have certain expectations. So that's the negative part for me. That's negative to me.
So everything you do, you think is going to happen the way?
No, that's why I said that if I invited 100 people, I know everybody is not going to come. But I guess that initial, you only want to get 5 people there, is almost like, okay, that's a little drastic. I don't know. I mean, you want to be realistic, and maybe 5 people will just come, but maybe 75 people will come. So I don't know. I just think like leave it open to the possibility of it. But
okay, so your so I know you don't disagree with it. So now we're not talking about how, if you agree or disagree. I guess now the conversation will be about perspective.
I guess.
Because it won't be about agreement or disagreement at this point.
No, it's not. Because I agree.
So it's just about perspective.
Yeah.
So your perspective on something like that is, in terms of a party, invite 100 and just leave it open to the possibility of how many coming. You don't know.
Many.
Just leave it open.
Right. Like, I don't need to say, like, I know only 5 people coming. Like, I don't need to, why would I say that only 5 people are coming? I might know that the number turnout might not be 100, but I don't know that part of, like, completely slicing open, like, just tearing it down. Like, it feels like it's tearing it down. You know what I'm saying? It feels like I'm thinking about it, and so that's what's actually going to happen, because now I didn't put in my mind, ain't nobody coming to this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. The expectation.
Any other examples other than a party?
Let's see. And this is for expectation in general.
Yeah. Any other example other than a party?
I mean, you can use anything. I guess. I mean, any kind of gathering, I guess you can use. I don't know. I can't really think of any specific examples off the top of my head.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So any kind of gathering, you say invite the number of people that you want.
Yes, just in general, what you want to happen.
I'm trying to put it out there. Like,
what it is that
you your perspective. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so whatever it is that you're expecting to do, like if you're starting a business, if I'm starting a business, and I know, and let's say I'm starting, what do I do? Medical. If I'm starting a nursing agency, I know that off the bat, it is going to most likely, it should take, it'll take some time to kind of get this business off the ground. I realistically know that. But put in saying that, well, you know what, you're not going to get no clients at all for like the next 10 years, like 5 years. It's going to take you at least 5 years to get any clients. Like just putting a damper almost on whatever that expectation is, to me, like affects the whole situation.
Do you study stats?
At times.
At times. You don't buy into stats too much. I
mean, I think that it's a good way, a good concept of like comparing and what to look for and how to kind of prepare for stuff. But I wouldn't necessarily base my business off of that necessarily.
You wouldn't?
No.
What about your ministry?
No, because I feel like everybody's ministry and everybody's situation is different. So even though I look at a statistic that says that there's no room for a drummer in a in the church in a setting and to be paid for. I don't know, like I can't really think of an example, but if there's a statistic that's saying that there's no way this can happen and that can happen, like I don't believe that there's no way that this can happen and no way that that can happen. Like I believe that there is a possibility that it can happen. So even if the statistics is telling me that 90% of the, I mean.
So you believe in, but you was always like that though. You don't want to believe in the 10%.
Yeah, I believe in the 10%.
So if 90% says a 90% chance that it does not happen, there's a 10% chance that it does happen. You believe that you are in that 10%.
Not necessarily me, but yeah, I believe.
No,
that
I'm talking about you. Your perspective. I'm talking about people now too.
Yeah. Okay, I'm talking about me. Yes.
You believe you're in that 10%.
I believe that there's a possibility that I could be in the 10%. That does.
And you're in the 10% because you don't want to be in the 90%, or because you just feel that.
Because I believe anything is possible.
Has that been the trajectory and the pathology of your life?
Yes.
So your life has always been you won everything.
I won. It's not that.
Because you talking about winning and dominance.
It's not about
all that stuff.
Okay, so we scratched that word a long time ago.
Okay, so you was pretty good. Also, most of your things.
Not about pretty good. It's about being the one that really should not qualify for certain things, or might not have had a certain type of experience in certain things. It's the same thing, because if we're talking about a statistic of a person that has done this, and this, and a statistic of a person that hasn't done any of this and still given the same type of opportunity, for example, or if I believe that's still, you're still in that 10%, if that makes sense. And I feel like my life has kind of done that.
So your life has been the 10%. So the 10% simply says
not in every single aspect.
When you look at the pathology of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I wouldn't look at a statistic and say, hey, okay, because 90% of this group of people was not able to stay in nursing for longer than 2 years. I wouldn't say that, well, dang, I probably only be a nurse for 2 years. Like, I wouldn't use that example, because that might not have anything to do. That doesn't affect the trajectory of my life based off of numbers that I'm seeing. I see that did happen to that group, but that doesn't mean I have to fall in that statistic or in that category. I don't think that categorizes me.
So that's not so okay.
Or places me. I do realize that it's a real thing and that it is happening, and that it's happened to 90% of this group, but I wouldn't say that that's going to happen to me just because it happened to them.
Okay. And you can't for sure say it's not going to happen to you.
No, I cannot. But I'm also not going to say that, hey, I'm going to fall in that group.
You're going to fall in that group. So, okay. So you're just saying, let's just put it out there. You personally believe that if you do something, if you put 100% in something, you are going to get that back. You believe you're in that percentage of people that says, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to, whatever I do in life, the things I do in life. Now, we're not talking about, I'm not being unrealistic. So I'm talking about the majority of things I do in life. I'm pretty much successful in what I do. It works for me. And I'm in that number that it just works.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
You said you belong to 10%?
Right, but I'm not saying that in every, like.
I ain't say every.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that. I am saying that if you ask me, when I look at do I go based off of statistics for my own life?
No, I said, do you believe in statistics?
Do you believe in statistics for my own life?
Yeah,
I say no.
No,
I don't.
That's what I said.
I believe that the numbers are accurate for that group that it was collected.
Wait. Go ahead.
I believe that those numbers are accurate for that group that it was collected in. However, I don't necessarily think that because there's a larger percentage that did not make it here, that could not do this, or will never live in this area, that's going to affect me.
Got it.
Right.
But I just said, so if you look at the trajectory, the pathology, the pattern, if you look at your life, most of your life, the things that you have attempted to do, you have been successful. That's what I just said.
Yeah, a lot of the things that don't really make sense
I'm not talking about if it
because
makes
it's
sense,
the same. It's the same thing.
But you're using what generally wouldn't work for somebody else works for you.
Yes, which is same thing as saying that it's the same thing as saying, if 90% of a population, it went this way and this 10% it did not. It's the same thing.
It's not, but it didn't work for them because they weren't supposed to be there. It just didn't work for them. I'm not using.
It might not. That might have been their narrative.
Yeah, you're using the scenario. You're using a scenario.
I'm saying that that's the same thing. I'm saying that
okay.
to me is the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the same thing.
Okay. So most of the I can't even answer.
Yeah, because
answer
that's not because you're creating something that I'm not actually saying.
No. Because you're not
that.
answering what I asked you.
Right, but I am answering what you asked me. But you are asking me something that's not related to what I'm saying.
So I am.
It's a little bit different.
Yeah, so
it's on the side of what I'm saying.
So, but I'm asking you a general question.
Okay.
And I'm only asking you one question. I'm not asking you if it belonged to you or not, or if you were accustomed to it, or if you were, I guess you grew up in a certain tradition. Mm-hmm. I'm not asking about that part.
Right.
I'm not asking the scenario.
What you're asking me is not like, so you're asking me is based it off of my life, right?
Have you been successful with some of the things you did? That's it.
Yes, I have. I've been successful.
That's all I'm asking. I'm not saying that if you shouldn't have done it. I'm not asking those things. I'm just asking so that's your pattern, and if that's your pattern, then that's your perspective of life. And that's all I was getting to you.
Even if I did not, if I did not have necessarily the evidence at this time,
you would still believe.
I still do think that there's a possibility that even that small number could affect any of us.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to fall into the highest statistic just because this statistic here on Google is telling me that.
Right.
That
my perspective is, and I think I read those numbers out to all of y'all. I said 0.25% of people that write a book sell over 1,000 books. Mm-hmm. But I still wrote a book.
Right.
I also said that 92% of all music artists go unknown. Mm-hmm. 92% of all music artists, and you get music, 92% of music artists they go unknown. Mm-hmm. Nobody know them. I also says it's like a high number of people that get out of jail. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. A high number go right back in. Mm-hmm. I gave all these numbers. So when I talk about the stats, yes, those stats are real. But then I also said that this is why we have faith. Because even with those stats, you still get into it.
Right.
Even with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even with, I come in saying, wait a minute, at least know what you're getting into.
Right.
And that's why I gave the stats. Mm-hmm. Know that 52% of marriages end in divorce.
Absolutely.
But everybody still want to get married. Not everybody, but people still want to get married.
Absolutely.
Know that you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got all these numbers, and with all these numbers, my thing is put them out there. And if you still want to do it, know that you're going to need God to help you get to wherever you got to go. That's where I come in at. So it's not like I believe in failing, or it's not my perspective, because I wouldn't do it if I thought that I wouldn't be successful.
Right.
I wouldn't do it. But I'm doing so much with the numbers that are, sometimes the numbers are not in favor to some of the things that you do.
Right.
So why do you do it? What makes a man go after something knowing the possibility? What makes a boxer box knowing that he may get knocked out? Mm-hmm. What makes a person open up a restaurant knowing that most restaurants fail in 2-3 years? What makes people? These are the real numbers. And I'm saying, if you still do them, mm-hmm. there must be something in you, a belief in self.
Yeah, it would have to be.
And a belief in God.
Right.
A belief in God coupled with a belief in self.
Yeah.
Going into this knowing this. Now, which means that my faith is not in the stats.
Yeah.
My faith is now in me.
Right.
And this also means, in Anthony Fliggins, that if those are the stats, and by chance, just by chance, I fall into that percentage that don't make it, mm-hmm. if I'm going to stay in it, I got to love it.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying about that. That's what I was saying about why do I keep doing what you're doing? Because even though I'm not going to get 100% out of what I put into it, mm-hmm. I put 150% into it because I love people.
Right.
So my love for people, that's what I said. My love for people keeps me doing it.
Right.
Even if the numbers don't match.
Right.
It's my love for y'all that keeps me
Yeah.
Keep the doors open for Bible study.
Yeah.
It's my love for people learning. Now, we all know you're going to spend a whole lot. Most pastors just, I'm not coming against any pastor that does this, by the way. Most pastors close their doors Bible study. They wouldn't have because not enough people come in or give.
Right.
It ain't worth it for sometimes. But I know a few going to come in. And I know that midweek gathering sometimes is important, especially to the person who live by themselves. And you know what I'm saying? On a job where everybody else is sort of, you just need that midweek camaraderie. It's and for the one or two who did it.
Right.
And that's why. And so that's what keeps me in it.
Yeah.
So my question to people is, well, my answer to this is whether you are successful or unsuccessful in what you're doing.
And it would be, what is your level of success?
What is your
How
level
do
of
you
success?
measure it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So let's just use another word. Whether you meet your expectations or not, let's use another word that is success. It has to be love that's going to, quote unquote, keep you in the game. Love is going to keep you going. So now it ain't the music sales that's going to keep me writing. It's my love for music.
Right, exactly.
It's
it has
not
to be
the
more, it has to be based off of more than
and that's why I keep bringing that. That's why I keep saying what keeps you going. So you may fall in those numbers, and I'm not saying you might not gonna fall in those numbers. I ain't saying you're gonna be successful. I'm not saying you're gonna be unsuccessful. Oh, you're not gonna be the same thing. Well, I'm not saying that you won't be successful, and I'm saying that you are gonna be successful. I say it that rather. I'm not saying those things because we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't know. Well, let's just say you got a Noah and you believe. Okay, but we just leave it right there. We can leave it right there because I can't say that. But some people just know. These people say, I got it in my heart. And I know, okay, and I'm not going to take away that. But I will say that the love for a certain thing is what keeps you honest to the craft, to the art, to the ministry, to the mission, to the call, to the business, to the church, to your family, to your relationship. It's my love for it that keep me in it. And that's understanding.
Yeah.
So I understand that.
I agree. I also think that basing what you decide to do on statistics or whatever it is that you're, thriving to a certain extent could be detrimental. If you're basing everything off a statistic of someone else and the projection of what happened for their lives. I mean, especially if you are, like you said, if you're utilizing your faith, or if it's something, obviously it's something that you heard from the Lord and you're moving in that, comparing that to a statistic of other people can be, I think it can be detrimental. I mean, it's good to kind of see the whole side, the other picture of other side of it. But I think it's also important not to, I guess, to be so hard on yourself or whatever in regards to the comparison thing. Like, okay, 90% didn't make it in their first 3 years. That doesn't mean that you're not going to make it in your first 3 years. And we've seen evidence of people like, for example, Pinky Cole. You know who she is? Oh. She's like, why would you say no? Like, it's like
no, you're talking outliers.
Yeah, I'm giving an example of a particular business that didn't go based off of the statistic.
Yeah, they're outliers.
Okay, sure. So, Pinky, for example, she's the owner of a vegan restaurant business that's like gone all over the world. And she was projected to, obviously, she's a small black business, and is now like surpassed like millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. It was projected that a business like that would not be able to make over a certain amount of money within a certain amount of time. So I'm just saying that if she, for example, just using that, if she would have went based off of a statistic that a vegan business is no way they're going to bring in that kind of money in that population in the South, you know what I'm saying, where there's a market that's just different. It clearly could have deterred her from going forward in it. So I just think that comparison, always comparing ourselves to a particular statistic, doesn't always work. I mean, it's good to know the information, but it doesn't mean that's going to affect you in that way. Is all I'm saying.
I agree
with the statistics.
I agree.
So yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So I guess there's a balance here. Yeah, I can't say anything about that or against that. I just say, okay. Okay. That's what I say.
Okay.
All right, that's that.
Cool.
Thank y'all for listening.
Any announcements?
Listen, everybody. Hey, Love Investors and Benefit Association. Love Investors Benefit Association. LIBA, Love Investors Benefit Association. Listen, everybody. The end of this year, we're going to celebrate one of our finest in Baltimore. We're going to celebrate one of our finest in Baltimore. That's right, Jermaine Gibbs. We are celebrating him this year. We are also giving money away for businesses.
Yes.
That's right, people who are starting a business, people who are getting started, who are launching, and who just need that push. We are going to bless certain people. That's right, we're giving money away. I need y'all to be a blessing. We are asking for donors. That's right, but it's so simple. We only ask for $20 a month. We need 150 people. People are calling, people saying, okay, where do I sow? Where do I give? Join Liver. $ Join Liver on Cash App. You can also go to the website on Join Liver, and you can find out the different ways to give. Be a part of this. $20 a month is all we're asking.
Yes.
We need y'all to be a donors of this, and we are blessed, and we're going to be a community. So my goal is to turn our community into an institution.
Absolutely.
That's the goal. Take the community and transform the community into an institution. And we are going to bless our people. We are going to support our people. When I mean by we, I mean by the all of us. That's all of us.
Absolutely.
We don't have to go to a big bank. We don't have to deal with, you know what I'm saying? We can be this ourselves. And I don't mind starting like this, and it's a blessing. I've decided last year we celebrated my mother and all the great things she does. This year we're going to celebrate one of our own, Jermaine Gibbs. That's right. Y'all know who he is. Check him out. He's going to be there. We got some other good stuff going too, by the way. Y'all please keep your ears open. I love y'all. God bless. Peace. Yes. Thank y'all.
Absolutely. That was Love Investors Benefit Association. And you can check out the website, actually, www.joinliber.com. It has all the information about what we've been doing, the event from last year and the year before, I believe. Everything is there. So make sure that if you want to give, you can also Cash App, $ Join Liber.
Cool.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all for tuning into this episode of Pastor Anthony Said. Listen, we are your spiritual podcast station, and we just brought you the uncut, the unblocked, and unscripted. We are the only place in the podcast universe giving you a balanced approach and a look at the other side, everything from A to Z. This episode will be available on Tuesday. Every new episode comes out on Tuesdays. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We love you, and thank you for loving us.